Yeah, I get what everyone does now, but they don't have to do it.
Yeah.
Like, it's a remake. You don't have to do a fresh sheet of paper on a remake. And look, you remake Jaws, but don't remake it with a polar bear. Do it with a shark. That's all I'm saying.
Do it with like a whale shark instead of a great white.
I don't know. They're too docile, the whale sharks. I'm just saying it doesn't, Karate Kid doesn't need a black guy, or it doesn't need a woman, or it doesn't just remake. Or don't remake and just make something else.
You know the actress that popped into my head when I heard that they were redoing it that would actually kind of serve that role well.
Cliffhanger?
Even though you don't like her. Charlize Theron.
Charlize Theron on Cliffhanger.
Because she does a lot of like action roles. She's done those like Netflix action movies. I mean, what other female lead is like super hardcore action? Does a lot of her own stunts. I can't think of any.
It'll be fine, but just make a new movie. That's all I'm saying.
I still haven't seen the original.
What?
Should that be
Get the
like
hell?
Kraus House viewing this
Girl,
weekend?
You've gotten yourself, you've done, lowered yourself down to a zero with that comment.
Oh, no.
That's one of the greatest films of all time.
You knew that about me, though. We had this whole conversation with Stephen Baldwin.
I knew about it, but I block it out. I always block it.
All the bad parts of me you just block out.
Well, that would take forever, but the main bad parts I block out. Yes. All right, what's going on in the news, Alicia Krause?
So it's kind of interesting. I think maybe some Hollywood lefties are coming around to the fact that they were jerks to, I don't know, half Americans for the last 10 plus years that Donald Trump has been on the political scene. Daily Show host Jon Stewart mourns the fact that we've lost the ability to love people in different parties. And then we have clips of that in a second. But first, we're going to start with Jennifer Lawrence saying, quote, "I don't really know if I should speak out on Trump in politics anymore because she thinks that it's adding fuel to the fire that's ripping America apart."
Well, if they knew anything, they should say something, but they don't really know anything.
They think they know the things, though.
I guess. Is this Jennifer Lawrence now?
Yeah, this is Jennifer Lawrence.
Okay.
She's on a film, doing the press tour for her new movie with, what's his face from Twilight. And it's called Die, My Love.
Yeah, what's his name? All right, we'll listen.
Not a bad idea.
What do you mean?
A revolution.
You have been politically outspoken in the past. In the first Trump administration, you had a lot to say. I'm curious how you feel about talking out now.
I don't really know if I should. I think like the first Trump administration was so wild, and just how can we let this stand? Like, I felt like I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off. But as we've learned, election after election, celebrities do not make a difference whatsoever on who people vote for. And so then what am I doing? I'm just sharing my opinion on something that's going to just add fuel to a fire that's ripping the country apart. I mean, we are so divided. I think I'm in a complicated recalibration because I'm also an artist, and with this temperature and the way that things can turn out, I don't want to start turning people off to films and to art that could change consciousness or change the world because they don't like my political opinions. I want to protect my...
Hey, everyone, I'm Joe.
All right. I get it. Look, it's true. You have no impact anymore. And B, there used to be a thing with actors and actresses where they were like, I don't want anyone to know anything about me because when I play the role of this, I don't want people thinking about...
want that in the back of their mind.
Yeah, gay or straight or where my politics are, really anything. I just want to disappear into these roles and then people won't have to have these preconceived anythings, and which is a human thing to do. If you heard a guy killed his wife or you heard a guy's
got a DUI, sometimes that happens. Like it affects your perspective. A DUI is no big deal to you?
It's not going to, it's acting wise. A DUI doesn't It's not one way or the other. It's an actor who went to a party who got drunk and then drove himself home. I don't think of him as a bad person per se.
Like he made a mistake. But killing your wife is like a very different type of mistake.
Yeah. Yeah. So a DUI is something that can happen to somebody, but it doesn't make me think you're this way or that way.
Yeah.
It's a mistake you made, but it's not going to affect your role and what I think of your acting. But if you were into, if you just announced you're Muslim or into Santeria or something, then I'd be watching you thinking about that.
Really?
I would.
I don't practice Santeria, though.
Yes. Like the song. So sublime, right? All right. My point is this. A little more mystery and a little less history.
Got it.
That's the way I like to roll.
I think she and I might be similar ages. She's married now. She has a kid now. She's doing kind of more quote unquote serious art, where she used to do insane blockbuster movies like The Hunger Games or that one space movie with Chris Pratt. And I think that maybe she's being mature and introspective here. Now, I do take issue with her a little bit of like, well, what if I'm a part of something that can make a difference, like art that can make a difference? And,
I know.
And it's like, how much art? I do think that culture is important. I mean, politics is downstream of culture, is something that we talk about on the conservative side of the aisle all the time. But really, I don't think there's going to be a sole piece of art that Jennifer Lawrence or anybody else, Steven Spielberg or anybody else is a part of that's going to, quote unquote, change the minds of Trump voters.
Robert Pattinson, by the way.
Oh, that's his name.
Yeah. Now, okay, so here's, I should feel. Okay. The thing that always bothers me about all the blowhard celebrities is when they go, here's the time we're living in and here's what we're dealing with and all that. I always go, but as opposed to what? Like, we just got 4 years of Joe Biden. Joe Biden is sort of asleep at the wheel, kind of along for the ride. I mean, all your stuff that you called cheap fakes and stuff like that. At the time, I said, I don't know what you're even talking about. What is a cheap fake? It's video of him being out of it at a party.
Yep.
You're calling it a cheap fake, and then you're going, it's just a piece of, because the video, it's just a slice. I had a comedian in here arguing with me, like it's just a piece of the video.
It's not how he is all the time. That's what they're
going, the video is just a piece. I go, the P. Diddy video of him smacking the chick and kicking her in the hallway? Yep. That's just a piece of a video.
Yep.
There's a video that runs by the elevator 24/7, 7 days a week. Most of the time, there's nothing going on or a family walking to the elevator. Once in a while, P. Diddy kicks the shit out of his old lady, and then we cut it, and then we look at it, and then we judge P. Diddy. And you're saying that's edited.
Yep.
Yes, it is. Because otherwise we'd have to watch 700 hours of video to get to the part. So when Joe Biden is brain dead at the Juneteenth party on the lawn, yes, it's not the entire Shaka Khan concert.
Or the G7 summit, or going up and down the stairs.
It's not the entire thing. It's not the entire thing. It's a film of him falling down the stairs. It's not a film of him sitting on the airplane or sitting in the limousine on the way to the airplane. Yes, I got it. It's edited.
Yeah.
Everything is edited so we can see it. All surveillance, every piece of Ring doorbell footage where somebody steals a package and you put it on the news or tries to set a house on fire and it ends up on the news. That's edited from the nothing that was happening on the Ring doorbell camera before
whenever,
that.
like, the Channel 7 Eyewitness News at night has footage of.
So you guys invented something called a cheap fake.
Yep.
Now, you had a brain-dead, corrupt guy in the office for 4 years. You had a guy who was corrupt. His son was corrupt, cutting deals, enriching himself all over the place, a chronic liar, left the border wide open and used the auto pen and just has underlings run the country. So who are we comparing Trump to?
Yeah, that's true, because I think in 2016, leftists like Jennifer Lawrence were freaking out. And I think that maybe they're like, oh man, maybe we overreacted to too much, because if everything, we've talked about this many times before, if everyone and everything is Nazi, then like we're just jaded of hearing that all the time, so that we don't believe you when you say it.
Right.
But in 2016, people left, right, and center didn't understand or know how he would govern. Now we saw how Trump governed. Then we had the horrible, for us on the right, and most of America think, we saw the horrible 4 years of Biden governing. And now we have Trump again. And I think that maybe she's like, it's not as bad as I thought it would be.
A reasonable person would go with anybody. It could be a president, could be a camp counselor, or you're going, oh, we're not going to get Hildegard again. But if you got Hildegard once a summer ago and it was okay, then you're going to have her again. You can kind of go like, all right, I can deal with this.
Yeah.
That's what a person who didn't have Trump derangement syndrome would do.
It's
so
like,
maybe she's
It's like when you know that drive to LAX is going to take you an hour and a half. You're dreading it, but you are anticipating it. So it's not as bad because you can plan for it. You're saying that leftists have planned for Trump number 2?
I'm saying it's like you going nuts because you think it's going to take 12 hours to get to LAX, but it only takes an hour and 10 minutes.
Got it.
And then you have another LAX flight 2 years later, and while other people are going, oh my God, you're going, done it. It's longer than I'd like, but we'll make it. Yes.
So Jon Stewart, kind of in this same vein, on the same day, talked about a similar thing of like, listen, we can't be ostracizing half of the country. Like, we need to have real relationships. Here we go, Jon Stewart.
He's a three-dimensional human being. And by the way, I love him. He's a three-dimensional human being who has qualities that I really admire, things about him. And we've lost that. We've lost the ability to love people.
Is he talking about Trump?
He's talking about an uncle.
Because we litmus
Oh,
test
okay.
at
I guess,
every
wait,
point.
is there a top of this, or just he's talking about his uncle?
The clip's starting in a weird place.
Okay, he's talking about his uncle.
There is no top on this. This is a New
his
Yorker
uncle.
paywall.
He's talking about his uncle who voted for Trump.
Yeah, he's saying.
Okay,
he's
but
saying
we just
that
need to set it up in the clip because otherwise we don't know.
So
what
he
he's
was saying
talking
that
about.
he loves his uncle. He talked about this with New Yorker's David Remnick. I love a good argument. I love differing points of view.
All right, well, we can show the clip. We'll show the clip now. I thought he was talking about Trump. That's my problem.
Every single moment. And by the way, I love him.
My uncle.
He's a three-dimensional human being
My Uncle
who has
Stan.
qualities that I really admire,
Who's my uncle?
things about him. And we've lost that.
About my uncle.
We've lost the ability to love people
Like my uncle.
because we litmus test at every point, in every single moment.
Note the deep leg
Way,
cross.
I love
note
him.
put it back. Note the double deep leg cross.
Both dudes.
Yes, I'm a dude, and I'm from the left, and so the audience knows I'll go with the deep leg cross. So, I'm down with the community, and then it's the host who's interviewing the guy with the deep leg cross. I shall engage in the deep leg cross, so this is not going to be adversarial. It's not going to be a tough interview. Now, my nuts have fallen asleep. Now, I was thinking about this because people keep tweeting me now.
Oh gosh.
Because there's a new thing afoot, or maybe a nut, that the deep leg cross is a thing. There's a physiological thing going on.
Really?
Yes.
Is it changing like bone structure and stuff?
Progressives, on average, are like 30 pounds lighter than the Republican dudes.
Yeah, but
Republican dudes are just bigger dudes.
sometimes with fat, sometimes with muscle. Depends on what part of the
Are
country you're
just husky, a little bit of each. But they're built a little differently, whereas the Democrats are always like waif models. The dudes are always waif models. And so you can't get that deep leg cross if you got some thigh and some gut on you.
You're not going to be a hockey player or like a footballer.
No,
or
but
like,
they're all super wafy. So they're able to get the deep leg cross. Now, the thing that's probably tough is Pritzker. Because they got to go, listen, you're such a woke douche, but you're unable to do the deep leg cross because of your girth. So we really got to get you on a diet so you can signal it's a present. You present to the audience where you're at, that you have a soft, weak, feminine mind.
Yes.
Not that the feminine mind's weak, but you think like a chick.
I know
'cause
what you meant. I
Cross your
understand.
legs like a chick. Pritzker can't do that. Now, when you take you take the Obamas And I mean, take a guy like Obama. Like Obama's like a 63-year-old guy. He's unusually. These people are like unusually thin. Like there is no dad bod. Most guys kind of get into a dad bod as they get a little bit older. These guys never go into their dad bod or Beto O'Rourke or like any of the commentators. There's none of them. They're all not just like not fat, but like really fit. Like no waistline kind of thing.
I don't know if that's fit though.
Well,
they're just scrawny.
They're not like doing, what do they call that? What's the sport that they CrossFit? They're not like that.
It's trademarked, so you might have to pay for that.
But they're most guys, when you get into your 50s and 60s, you just get a little bit of a waistline on you. And he doesn't, they don't have that. They just have this thing. I'm not saying they're, paragons of fitness. I'm just saying they don't have that weight on them. And like Justin Trudeau, like these guys, Gavin Newsom, they don't have that waist, so they can get a deep, Jon Stewart, like the list goes on. There's no husky guys in that group.
That's true.
So part of it is a physical part, so it's actual, they're able to pull it off.
And the other part is the liberal mental state of having to do the signaling with the leg crossing.
Yes.
Okay.
And maybe the leg cross also says I'm fit. Like women with long hair like throwing their hair around a lot. Like when they're talking, they'll take their finger and do that move, or they go, ugh, so hard
Just
with
have
this
to,
hair. Yeah, they'll throw it around. I don't know. I don't know why we're stopped on this.
This is the next story.
Oh, the next story. Oh, that's right, because we're going to talk about it. But anyway. You show me liberals on a stage, I will show you deep leg cross.
Oh, liberal men specifically.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
liberal men.
Yeah.
Liberal men.
No, I try to do the Princess Kate like ankle tilt.
Yes, side saddle. Like a young lady should.
Exactly. Just try to always follow what Princess Kate does. Including ignoring Meghan Markle. Did you see her fake like sloppy kiss for Prince Harry after the Dodgers won the World Series?
Meghan?
Yeah.
No.
So obnoxious.
Listen, you, first off, don't come over here from your land of cricket and pretend to know our baseball. That's what I'm saying.
All right.
Soccer.
So this, according to the Wall Street Journal, and this ties into the video here that we're going to play about the Angel City FC captains publicly condemning one of their teammates. But now there's more and more gay people. And by the way, I love how this is like new news to the mainstream media, because I've been hearing this for a very long time in LA and conservative circles. But people within the queer community, specifically queer activists, are upset and speaking out against the gender ideology of like trans people and how they've taken over the movement. There's this new book coming out by this guy named Ben Apple, and he was saying in his book, Cis White Gay, The Making of a Gender Heretic, it comes out next week, and he argues that gender ideology is, quote, illiberal, repressive, and anti-gay. As much as the cult that he was raised in, Lambs of Gods, was a fundamentalist sect, he says that he and an increasingly vocal group of gay men, lesbians, and bisexual people are now rejecting this. By the way, I have to give kudos to like the British lesbians, the ones that took all the way to the UK Supreme Court, protecting women's spaces and women's sports and not transgendering minors. They, like, shame on lesbian and liberal feminists here in the United States who didn't have the cojones to do the same thing. And kind of talking about what this guy is talking about. It's like, you claim to be a part of our coalition, yet everything that you're doing is damaging our coalition.
Right.
And I think case in point is you have this professional female athlete with the Angel City FC, Elizabeth Eddy, this week. The veteran midfielder, spoke about the integrity of women's soccer.
This is the Los Angeles soccer team?
Yep. It's the women's soccer team.
Yuck.
So she's been in the National Women's Soccer League since...
This is, by the way, 3 strikes. It's got the word soccer, women, and Los Angeles in it.
Oh, God.
Done. 3 strikes and you're out,
like
bitches.
You'd like this gal. Elizabeth spoke up this week calling on the National Women's Soccer League to adopt a clear sex-based eligibility policy to protect the women's category of sports. And then her frickin' team captain went and did this press conference and totally bashed her. Here's a video of that.
I love that they think it's okay. Number one, let me just say this. If you don't think it's okay for biological men to play with women, or you do think it's okay for biological men to play with women, let's not forget, before anyone cared, I think it was 2019, a Dallas, Texas under 15 high school team beat the women's national team 2 games in a row. So these are boys not from around the world or from around the United States, just from Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
One place, under 15. That doesn't mean...
That could be professional women, because turns out men and women are different.
By the way, under 15 is under 15. It means there could be 12-year-olds on that team for the dudes. Now, I'm guessing they were 14 or 15 and under, but there's always a couple of 13-year-old ringers out there. They beat the women's national team 2 games. So that's young guys and the advantage they have over women physically in a game which is soccer, which is fairly physical, but certainly not like football or basketball would be.
If a trans woman is playing a biological woman, you can bet that there's going to be injuries on the soccer field.
Yeah.
I mean, soccer actually, I need to Google this, but I think that soccer actually has a ton of injuries.
Yeah, there'll be injuries, and then it'll also be not as competitive, because what you're looking for in all sports is parity. F1 is F1 because they have all these rules, and they add weight, and they have all this stuff because they will not let one car have an advantage over the other car. So we'll watch. It'll be very close. All motorsports is that way. Just parity, parity, parity. And if you're going to have one with an extra 200 horsepower, it's not going to be good for the sport.
Or the reason why people like to watch football, right? It's like, well, this QB has this record and this QB has this record, and let's see them go head to head. And it's the interest of that. I don't think that the average American wants to see a 6'2" transgender woman going up against biological women on the Angel City FC.
But let's see what this dumb cow has to say.
So this
about
lady, it was horrible. Like to be a part of this team, if I were Elizabeth Eddy, I'd be like, peace, I'm leaving.
Let's hear what her teammate has to say.
Going into this, I'm a little bit nervous because I think it's a big job to represent your team and speak for your team, and not just that, speak for others who this will be important to. We've all obviously seen the article that was written in the New York Post earlier this week. So I really want to start off by saying that that article does not speak for this team in this locker room. I've had a lot of combos with my teammates in the past few days, and they are hurt and they are harmed by the article, and also they are disgusted by
How?
How are they harmed? What's the article say?
Did the article stab them in the face?
They're hurt and they're harmed as well. But what did the article say? Just said
this is the article from her teammate, Elizabeth Eddy, saying, hey, National Women's Soccer League needs to have a standard on this and adopt a clear standard. She's proposed that one option is that all players must be born with ovaries, as the FA requires, or another option was an SRY gene test like those at the World Athletics and boxing.
That's hurtful and harmful.
And that's harmful to the rest of her teammates.
Right. But I love at some point she'll get to as a woman of mixed race. I love the narcissism of all of it. But here we go.
Things that were said in the article, and it's really important for me to say that. And we don't agree with the things written for a plethora of reasons, but mostly the undertones come across as transphobic and racist as well. The article calls for genetic testing on certain players, and it has a photo of an African player as a headline, and that's very harmful. And to me, it's inherently racist, because to single out this community based on them looking or being different is absolutely a problem. And as a mixed woman with a black family, I'm devastated by the undertones of this article.
She's mixed with a black family.
I'm assuming that means she's married to a black man and has black kids. Right. So she's
maybe. Never know these days. So she's mixed.
But
as a woman is mixed, yes.
I think
how, okay,
so I'm assuming that Elizabeth Eddy, you've written articles before, I've written articles before. Sometimes my editor uses a picture I wouldn't have used. That doesn't mean that Elizabeth Eddy was like, hey, by the way, when I'm asking the National Soccer League to protect women in sports, I'm not saying that we need to genetically test black people. That was not referenced anywhere in the article.
No, they just
have to
tack
throw it in there.
They tack it on to everything all the time. And maybe it's their own thing because you have to have black representation. So if you're going to show a picture of a soccer player, maybe they just show reflexively like a black soccer player now. Because I don't know why there's a black soccer player in the thing. But obviously it has nothing to do with the author. And that's not what they're talking about. But she had to do the racing because it's weak. But also they do this thing where they go, obviously we disagree with much of what's in the article. Hey, bitch, spit it out. Tell us what you disagree with. Tell us specifically what you disagree with, and then we could have a discussion about it.
It's also like, is she kind of dumb? Because I think when she refers to the genetic testing, it's like it's testing that is sex eligibility test. It's not, are you Zambian or Ugandan or Southern Californian? And it's like specifically to figure out if you are having to play a potentially dangerous interactive sport against a biological male.
Well, then she's got her Dumbo white counterpart who's going to say something, which I like too, because she doesn't have anything to say.
Family, I'm devastated
She's
by
devastated.
This article.
She's devastated.
For me personally, when I think of
me personally,
LA,
hold on, pause it.
and
This is
I
the
think
problem.
of
For
it-
me personally.
But everybody else has to
Everybody's for
Yep.
me personally. Hey, bitch, let's just stick to the facts. But anyway, for her personally, what's the
Angel
problem?
City, I think of a place that was founded upon inclusivity and love for all people. That's what our locker room is. That's what our staff is. That's what our fan base is. Angel City is a place for everyone. It always will be. That's how it was from the beginning. That's how it always will be. Period. And I think.
All right, hold on. This bitch can't think of stuff to say.
She's reading her notes. She has her phone out.
What we have right now is a place in Angel City. It's also named for a brewery, I think, in San Diego. It was founded on the promise of fairness for everyone, and that's what it is, and that's what it's going to be, and that's what it'll always be. And for me personally, Angel City's a oasis of fairness, founded on a bedrock of fairness.
Does she not know the history of LA, like of, the City of Angels, aka Catholic priests who came here and tried to convert
how long
like
has this soccer
indigenous
team
people?
been around? 200 years or like 18 months?
But she says like the city of Los Angeles, like she's implying that the history of LA is totally perfect towards, the oppressed
We're
people.
here for fairness, so like our concession stands or whatever you can afford.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Like
and
if you
tickets.
Tickets could be $80, but if you only have $2, then it'll be $2 and a T-shirt and a hoodie, which are normally $49.95. It's just whatever you can afford because we're built on fairness here in Angel City. Yeah, let's watch her one more time because she has zero to say.
She wrote it down too. See her looking at her notes on her phone?
I didn't even see her looking at her phone. Maybe she's been involved with too many headers. Sorry, let's hear it.
for me personally, when I think of
stuff,
LA and
stuff,
I think of Angel City,
and stuff,
I think of a place that was founded upon inclusivity and love for all people. That's what
that's why
our locker room is. That's what our staff is. That's what our fan base is.
It's been around since 2020.
Angel City is a place for everyone. It always will be. That's how it was from the beginning. That's how it always will be.
From now on, from the beginning.
And I think this situation, there's Lisa, you kind of touched on it. There's an element of timing to it where
it's always bad timing.
This feels like another really big challenge that we have to go through as a team on top of an already really challenging year.
So anyway, there's guys from Texas
and it's
who
definitely
didn't have
not the
pubes
note
kicked our ass.
that we as a group want to end on. And so I just want everyone to know that we're doing our best in the locker room to preserve respect and belonging on this team.
And we need a sense of
we look forward to ending the season on as positive of a note as possible.
It's built on love.
By throwing your other teammate under the bus.
All right, Dumbo.
So Elizabeth Eddy, apparently people, even before this, rumors were flying that her contract that it expires, I guess, this Sunday. and that it won't be renewed by the team.
You have to have a press conference to throw your teammate under the bus.
Teammate who's likely representing, I think, the majority, not only the majority of the viewers and the American voters, but maybe the majority of other women in other locker rooms all over the country that don't want to have to share that space or be,
People don't want to play
by a
women's
dude.
sports with a dude. That's it. That's all. That's all there is. That's it. You can make as much as you want about race or about gender or about exclusivity or inclusivity. You can do whatever you want. Normal people don't want a dude on the girls' team. That's all.
And
That's
part
all.
of her, I don't
Or in the bathroom or in the locker room. That's all.
I don't understand how we're like supposed to be, yay, women in sports, and then lambast a woman in sports who said, quote, just as we built a new space for women to compete in the largest arenas, now we must honor that commitment and make sure that the National Women's Soccer League stays for women.
They're grievance. They're grievance people. By the way, it was 2000. I said 2019. It was 2017.
Okay.
When the women's team lost 5-2 to the dudes without pubes.
I think Ben Shapiro likes to use that reference.
Dudes without pubes?
No, Ben would never. I mean, the soccer example of just the difference, the physiological, biological difference of like men and women.
I'm pretty sure an under 15 team could beat the women's Olympic basketball team as well. And I'll say this. There are literally hundreds of thousands of millions of dudes who at age 15 in this country can dunk a basketball. There's probably 3 women in the world who can dunk a basketball. And so they can play above the rim.
Yeah.
And if you can either play above the rim or
then
you can't.
Can beat the average WNBA player.
If you can play above the rim, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. There's probably been a couple of dunks in WNBA history, and those are kind of weak, and they're not kind of highlight dunks. They're sort of technically.
But they're highlighted and shown all over social media because they're so excited.
Well, look it up, Dawson. How many women in the NBA can dunk a basketball? And I would argue that there are some high school teams like in the inner city and stuff where everyone can dunk, but that's high school. That's not 15, but definitely because high school all-stars are LeBron James at 17 or 18 and Kobe Bryant at 17 or 18. Like these guys are world class at 17 or 18.
Yeah.
They list about 4 players who can, but they say that there are fewer than 30 dunks recorded in the league's history since its inception in 1997.
Oh, wow.
As of 2025, 8 women have dunked in a WNBA game, whereas there's 8 dunks per quarter in a professional male game. But I would argue that when you watch the McDonald's All-Star team, the high school McDonald's basketball team, those guys can dunk, all of them. Like it's crazy. So there's absolutely the high school McDonald's All-Star team would beat the all-star team of the WNBA. The question is, could the before 15 and younger?
Yeah.
And I would go yes.
Yeah.
And because of that, there's a difference. And also, there doesn't need to be anything attached to it. It's just guys excel at this thing, and so you don't want the guys with the women because it's unfair to the women.
It's unfair to the women, and as we've seen in a lot of examples, it's physically unsafe to the women as well.
Mm-hmm. All right.
That's just the case.
All right. We good?
I think so.
All right. Let's see. I'm going to be in Boston at the Wilbur Theater coming up Thursday, and then off to Electric City in New York. Let's not forget that I'm at... Like he was going to drop a tape on it and go, you know what, I asked for light foam and there's 7/8 worth of foam on there. I was looking more in the 3/4 range. Like, how are you just doing that to have dominion over the person? And by the way, you're not going to get it that way. You're just going to get the way they do it.
An important door here. Terrence, what kind of foam do you like?
You light foam?
Well, yeah. These are the important things.
Very, very light.
How about your tub?
But not too light.
How about tub water? Medium foam?
I go in. My coffee. I just order black coffee with cream. And when I ask for black coffee and cream at Starbucks, they look at me crazy, huh?
Right.
Just black coffee with cream.
That's not going to take half an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like,
can I say this
because
too?
Because we're so used to all those
is this
customized orders.
Is it a COVID thing or something? But I order a coffee and with cream. Just like you do. There's no waiting behind me. Boom, we're done in 15 seconds. But you guys tell me if this is a thing. I like a strong coffee with cream, but I like to be in charge of the cream. And the problem is it used to be out. And what you do is you go, good, because I know how much cream I like in my coffee.
Right.
Now, a guy pulls up a 1-gallon jug that's filled to the top, and he goes, all right, how much cream do you want? Get just a little splash, just a little. And they go like, glunk, glunk. And you go, yeah, good. And he goes, okay, and the thing's pale white. And you go, that's not what I wanted, but you had to do it. But if I could have done it, I could do it how I want
I
it.
request everything. I want my cream on the side and my sugar on the side.
You do it on the side.
On the side.
COVID took that away from us.
Do it on the side.
Now they have to give it to you in a little cup, but no longer do they have the station, the cream station.
I like the station.
I miss the station.
And if you want extra cream, just say, I want extra cream on the side.
Right.
Maybe if you had
business cards printed with the right color of beige that you like your coffee,
and I would
just
dip
be
it like it was a toothpaste commercial.
Yeah.
See what your teeth
or a
look
paint
like?
commercial.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm working at Lowe's.
And Starbucks coffee, it tastes burnt too.
Well, Starbucks has sparked some outrage after revealing that its newest CEO
drink to them, but people are ordering that. I'm looking at a thing that says mint something on it, and honey and whatever. So he does a tea, I'm guessing.
They popped the balloon there. Yeah, minty majesty tea with 2 honeys.
2 honeys.
2 honeys.
Yeah, I wouldn't think that, but I wouldn't know. And by the way, the people in their beverages are all over the road. It's hard to connect them. I can do a lot of racial profiling and do lots of profiling and know where people are going with stuff. Drinks, I never know. I never know who's the latte, who's the almond latte. I mean, pain in the ass chick is always the bigger pain in the ass you are in life, the longer your Starbucks drink is. Mm-hmm. That much I know, but I would have never guessed Charlie Kirk. I would have thought, I think Republican guy, conservative guy, just think black coffee.
Yeah. Yeah, I always see the guys that are outside of the Starbucks, like the road construction guys, and it's all the dudes in the reflective vests, and then there's the one guy who's like maybe from the city or maybe from corporate, who's like the project manager, and the guy goes in and orders 6 black coffees, and then he needs a minty fruit latte with a whipped cream on top and sprinkles, and you're like, I know exactly who that drink is going for.
I was behind someone who ordered light foam. And I was like, you like foam or don't you like foam, bitch? In or out with your fucking foam. So she wrote something, this is for the racist or whatever.
Yeah, so on the side of the drink, it was handwritten, racist fave drink on the side of the cup. Mm-hmm. This woman complained to corporate. She went and talked to Kroger's, who ran that certain Starbucks. The employee had admitted to writing on the side of the cup and was immediately fired on spot.
Good. And the thing about racist is, let's stop throwing it around so sort of willy-nilly. It's a big thing. It's also a reason to put someone in the ground. So I don't know what their thing is on the left, but everyone look, I have thoughts about what ails the black community, but that doesn't make me racist. I have thoughts about what ails many communities and many white people as well. That doesn't make me anything other than I have thoughts. Mm-hmm. And we've constructed some sort of system where they're like, well, yeah, but you're not black, but you're not. Okay, I don't play for the Rams, but I have thoughts about what they could have done the other weekend to win a football game. Mm-hmm. That's what I do. I have thoughts about everything.
Sure.
That's just me. I don't like it's just contained to my kids. I have thoughts about other people's kids as well. So shut the fuck up. What do you mean no thoughts? I have thoughts about how to run everything all the time.
Yeah.
And yes.
Also, me and the boys were in the back talking. Female Republicans have come a long way over the last few years, have they not? Like, look at this lady on the right. Mm-hmm. That is the new face of the Republican Party, where back in the day you had Barbara Bush.
Oh, I thought this was a chick who wrote on the cup.
No, she's the one who
got the cup.
Yeah, I had to make sure that we were correct in that too. So so this is the woman who got the cup.
Yeah.
And then, because you would assume that this is the woman who wrote on the side.
She's got the tats and the head shave and the weird, I don't know, Pomeranian hairdo. I don't know what we call that, but she's the victim of it.
Yeah. Yep.
Also, I don't know what the attraction is to calling people racist. Like, I just don't presume to know what's in their heart. I don't really care. It seems like a weird calorie burner to go after people. Like I don't know. That guy, remember 10 minutes ago, we had to pop the tires of anyone driving a Tesla? Remember that from 10 minutes ago? Back when America wasn't ready for a gay vice president. Remember we had to go to, this seems like a big calorie burner. Did anyone go, it's an electric car. It's good. It's good for the earth. We used to like Elon. I don't have to retroactively go pop his tires. It's all like it's like 9-year-old behavior. It's weird.
Remember when it was quaint when Starbucks just decided to put a war on Christmas with Happy Holidays? That was quaint, and now they're calling everybody racist. It feels like
I know. I miss the holidays.
Miss those days, right?
Mm-hmm.
Donald Trump slammed statues showing him holding hands with Jeffrey Epstein. This thing is glorious. I was in Washington, D.C. yesterday, and I didn't get a chance to swing by and see it, but the new statues erected on the National Mall in Washington, D.C., they show Trump and Epstein giddily frolicking together, holding hands with a plaque that reads, "We celebrate the long-lasting bond between President Donald J. Trump and his closest friend, Jeffrey Epstein." Trump did not hold back in a statement that was made from the White House to TMZ. Liberals are free to waste their money however they see fit. But it's not news that Epstein knew Donald Trump because Donald Trump kicked Epstein out of his club for being a creep.
You know what we should do? You know what Trump should do? Here's Trump. If Trump were smart, here's what he'd do. He'd go, I just commissioned a bronze statue of Magellan holding hands with Marco Polo.
Marco Polo, yes.
Two of the greatest explorers, two of the greatest mariners ever. And 10 seconds later, a bunch of fucking Antifa people would show up and just fucking tear it down.
Yeah.
He should just, we won't know who it is from here. I don't know what Epstein's statue looks like. You know what I mean? Just say, I did, maybe we should do, I don't know. Let's see. Let's pick who don't we like? Who doesn't the left like? I mean, I guess we could, like, St. Peter frolicking with Christopher Columbus.
Yeah, I was going to say anybody who is named after, a lake is named after them currently, that's usually probably who the left hates. So,
all right, well, just pick those two, put out there, and Tifa shows up, tears it down that night.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do like the detail in that statue, though. They should have got that guy to do the Dwayne Wade statue outside of the, because that is brutal looking, but that's pretty good.
I was trying to think, they didn't cast it out of bronze.
No.
Because each one would weigh 2 tons.
Yeah.
But did they use like a CNC type programming, whatever? Like, can you make this old stuff on a computer now and then rattle can it bronze, to spray paint it?
3D printing, they probably made this thing and then put it up. Yeah. That seems legit. Uh-huh. I like that he came out right away and was like, mad about holding hands with a dude. That's why I love Trump. He's like, I totally fuck Stormy Daniels and I don't hold hands with dudes, okay? That's what I love about it.
3D printed, yeah, probably. There's also, there's a bad soccer statue. Who's the bad soccer statue of?
Oh. That's a good question.
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo? Okay.
There's a bad soccer Ronaldo statue. And by the way, I don't know. Do you think they did that shit to like George Washington? Like, do we really know what George Washington looked like?
Yeah, I remember having a picture in my high school library and going, how do we all know exactly like that was the dude? Because they never showed him smiling because they said he had wooden teeth.
Right.
I'm like, at some point, wouldn't those things rot out? Wouldn't you get an infection? Wouldn't you die from some sort of like medical condition by having wooden teeth? I feel like.
Also, he lived in a time where we had ivory and stuff. And there were great smiths, that could carve out of alabaster and stuff. I don't know why you'd do one out of.
Oh, Lordy, look at that. That's amazing. We could do that.
Ronaldo looks like he's got Down syndrome. like if you take a Down syndrome guy and you give him a hot dog and you tell him there's cheese inside of it, that's the look he makes.
Wouldn't somebody, whoever was supposed to put this thing out, look at the guy who sculpted this and say, we got to melt it down and start again. We can't put this out to the public.
I feel like with statues, let me explain what a statue or a carving or bronzing or a head, a bust. Here's the process. Nobody says, I would like you to build me a custom home. How long will it take? And then you go, well, it's going to take about 17 months. And I go, I'll be back in 17 months in one day. You hit the job site like twice a month or every Friday, and you walk around, and invariably the person who's paying for it goes, ooh, where are you going to put the tub?
Mm-hmm.
No tub in the master suite. But the tub goes in the guest suite or whatever. Tons of stuff, everything from I don't want this outlet here to here's what I want my island to look like, but you can't just leave and come back when it's done because you're going to open the front door and you're going to see a bunch of shit you didn't really like that they did wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like with statues, whoever the statue is of, they got to show up once a week and sort of check progress.
Yeah.
Or why don't we just get the Madame Tussauds wax house, whoever's doing the wax stuff, the wax ones are dead nuts on every single time. You literally you see Kim Kardashian posing next to her wax museum pose, and you can't tell which one is Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, I was going to say they should start out, because I come from the land of butter sculptures. Start with the butter sculpture.
Start with butter.
And then you take the plaster of Paris, you get the form, and then you form from there. That way you know it's correct.
Or you end up with Ronaldo.
Yeah.
All right.
Man,
what else
brutal.
you got?
Rhode Island high school coach who did naked fat test sentenced to 1 year of probation. This happened on Monday. A judge sentenced a former high school basketball coach to a year of probation after he spent decades asking hundreds of male student athletes if they were shy or not before asking them to get naked so he could check their body fat. Turns out that he was actually found not guilty on second-degree child molestation and second-degree sexual assault in a case that scrutinized the so-called naked fat test, but then was later given 2 counts of a lesser degree, 2 counts of misdemeanor battery. So throughout the nearly 6-week trial, defense attorneys for Thomas argued that the tests were wrong, but not a crime.
Well, once you get into your underpants, how much more do we need to see if you're fat or not?
Yeah, we kind of know. I mean, there's a lot. Everybody's wearing the V-neck T-shirts again, and they are not quite as form-fitting as they used to be. So a lot of dudes with tits out there walking around these days.
Yeah, I think you can kind of tell through a dress shirt and the V-form. You're right, the V-form. And there's dudes with titty syndrome, and then there's women with huge upper arm syndrome.
Yeah.
And I'm like, could you pick a shirt that's a little more flattering for you? Because I can see your man titties from across the mall, and I see that fucking Nate Newton upper arm from across the mall, and it's like there's such a thing as long sleeves or hoodies or things that don't accentuate this thing so much.
Wear dark, wear layers.
Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm. Vertical stripes.
Yeah. My high school, up until about maybe 3 years before I got there, they made the boys swim naked in class, gym class, naked.
Really?
Yeah. And we looked it up. There's a whole thing about it that was online. Hibbing High School, if you Google it, obviously be a little cautious about what you Google. But yeah, they would they made you swim naked. The boys had to swim naked up until, I think 11th grade. Girls got to wear a suit. And then I think it was a few years before I got there, like the late 80s, early 90s is when they finally got rid of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Dudes naked, but just with dudes.
Just with dudes, yeah. Yep. So they would actually, folklore says that there was a bunch of dudes in swim class that were doing the class, and somebody did not lock the door, and there was a woman who opened it up, and there was just a bunch of dudes standing on the edge of the pool naked. So after that is when they started chaining and barring the door so nobody could walk in. And there used to be these big giant curtains that if they weren't pulled back, you could see right into the lunchroom. So if there was a little sliver of daylight, you could stick your eyes up to the glass and basically see these kids naked.
I started, well, I don't know if we talked about this, but there's something going on because I have found myself as an old dude walking through the locker room at the spa, dropping the towel, getting naked, getting in, and every guy's wearing trunks.
Yeah.
Now, like, guys, first off, there was no such thing back in the day of being in the men's side of the spa in the locker room wearing trunks in a jacuzzi. And there was no trunks in the sauna, no trunks in the steam room. There was like, you might have the towel wrapped around you. You drop the towel and slide into the whatever.
Yeah.
But guys are modest now. Like, that's a whole new vibe. And I don't know. Is it weird? Is there something weird going on with dudes? Are the peckers getting smaller now with the testosterone levels going down and the sperm production going down and guys getting like chubbier?
Yeah.
When guys get chubby, there's more circulating estrogen because it makes your dick smaller,
Absolutely.
like, essentially. So is it guys being self-conscious and like having a small pecker and being kind of chubby now? Like, what is, or is it a social thing?
Maybe. There was also the stories that came out of, that gal who was like a social influencer, and she took pictures of that naked elderly woman in the women's locker room, and I think the caption said something, "If I have to look at it, so do you," and then posted them online. I think the woman
right.
Yeah. So maybe there's like a little bit of sort of, you're a little afraid that maybe there's some sort of camera, something lurking. You're not really sure. But speaking of that, I was watching the new Superman.
Good thought.
I was watching the new Superman on the flight yesterday, and Lex Luthor, the dude who plays Lex Luthor, probably the same age as Gene Hackman when they both filmed their Supermans. Gene Hackman's voice substantially deeper than the dude who plays Lex Luthor now.
Interesting.
And everybody else, and I was like, wow, even my voice is so much higher than some of the other guys that are, probably 10 years older than me.
Right. Interesting. Yeah, could be a lot of microplastics.
Absolutely.
But you're right, could be who wants to be filmed naked.
Yeah.
I got a good gym dick, so I don't care. As I was talking to the Jillian about.
Yeah.
Gene Hackman is 48 while filming Superman.
Oh, the first one. Okay. And how old's the dude so he must be like in his 40s now. I can't remember the guy's name.
How was Superman? I didn't see it.
He's younger than that? Well, but still, Gene Hackman's voice couldn't have gotten that much deeper between the ages of like 29 and 48. I imagine. It's good. It's so CGI'd, but the story's good and it's fun and it's got some great jokes in it, and it's James Gunn, so you can't really go wrong.
Yeah, I like James.
But, yeah, it's great.
All right, one more.
One last one here. All right, so video of this. Tom Brady makes some comments. He's receiving a lot of criticism for a statement he made on the air during the Cowboys-Bears game after Cowboys wide receiver George Pickens repeatedly slammed his helmet into the ground.
Arms, and Pick's not happy. Yeah, those helmets can be, it's like the dog at home.
Timeout on the field.
Wow. Kick right the dog, throw the helmet,
man,
whatever
man.
it is.
Right.
Yeah.
So kick the dog.
I always think about this stuff when people go, "Oh, people are upset." I go, "No, they're not. No, they're not.
Yeah.
They're just fucking talking.
Yeah,
No one gives a shit."
Yeah,
it's weird. It's a weird thing because I do see the TMZ chicks goes, "He shouldn't be able to." And it's, "Oh, shut up, bitch. Just shut up. There's real problems." Tom Brady doesn't kick his dog. He said kick the dog. He doesn't kick his dog.
It's a phrase. It's what people would say, And until he shows up to game day wearing a coat made of 101 Dalmatians like Cruella de Vil, I'm going to go ahead and just give this a pass and just say he was just saying, making a phrase that is a very common phrase when you're frustrated.
He should lean into it. He should go, "That quarterback's more mobile than Mike Vick.
Yeah.
I have not seen a guy who had a cannon, Michael Vick, cannon for an arm, more mobile than anybody else in the league at the time." Mike Vick, people talk about him as a mobile quarterback. Great man.
Yeah.
He's a great, great man. Humanitarian. NFL Player of the Year, Man of the Year. Got the Walter Payton Man of the Year in 91. A lot of people don't remember that. As a matter of fact, Geez, what time is it? Because I got to get going. I'm going to meet Mike Vick. We're going out for cocktails, and then it's off to his backyard where he said he just wanted to give me a tour of the kennel.
Oh, he just sent me a text. What up, dog? I can meet you at 5 p.m. I got to get blowing, guys. I'm sorry about that.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. You read the stories about people that were upset about it. They said one lady was like, "Oh, kick the dog, Tom. Don't you have a pooch?" Someone else wrote, "You have some explaining and apologizing to do."
I do love the people with the amount of time that they have. Look, I got my life. Everybody, that's all I got. I got 2 hampers. Mm-hmm. One is a hamper filled with fucking troublemakers who don't pay taxes, who cause crime, who spit their gum out on hot sidewalks, who just all the stuff who let their dog shits on your lawn and they don't pick it up. And then there's another hamper, and those are the taxpayers and the job creators. Tom Brady is in the happy hamper. You understand?
Yeah.
He's in the good hamper. I give people, what has Tom Brady paid in taxes his life?
I couldn't even imagine. I mean, well into the millions. Probably more than what I make a year, I imagine.
He has, I'm going to say that Tom Brady has paid well over $100 million in taxes quite easily in his youngish time on this planet so far. So he's not part of the problem. There are other people who've been arrested 61 times who get in the court appointed, whatever. They're in the other hamper. And once you're in this hamper, I don't really have time for you. I don't bust your chops. He's a fucking taxpayer who loves his kids. I'm done with him. Mm-hmm. Charity work, what have you. Never have enough energy to go, I got to settle this guy's hash.
Yeah.
Do not.
Family members sometimes. I always think about it. Like we had a conversation the other day where I said that my family was talking about there's going to be a civil war.
$200 million is the conservative estimate.
Wow.
On Tom.
No way. Man, that is worth it. How much he's paid.
How much he's paid?
Get out.
Well, if you're really, you pay a lot in this country. So if you made a lot of money, you're going to pay a lot of taxes.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad I'm broke. I will never pay anywhere near any of that. But I'm also not the guy who complains about these guys. I sort of empathize with them and go, if it wasn't for guys in like you and people in your position, I would have no career whatsoever.
That's right.
Yeah.
What were you saying about a family member?
So we were talking that my family said, well, they're going to cause a civil war. The civil war is coming. And I said, have you guys not been online? We're not fighting on a battlefield. We're fighting on social media. That is our civil war. We put down guns and we're picking up keyboards, and that's where the civil war is happening.
Fighting on Starbucks coffee cups.
Yeah.
That's the battlefield. Mm-hmm. We're using Sharpies like bayonets. Retarded people. All right, you can go to adamcarolla.com for all the live shows. Heather and Jillian got themselves a podcast. What do you want? And it's coming out on Friday. Rudy, what dates we got for you this weekend? Reno, Laugh Factory. That's
the keynote speaker at the conference.
Yeah, Jurgens, friend or foe. They'll have some op-ed pieces sometimes down there.
Strong community.
Yeah. Never jack off with shampoo. There's tips. You know what I mean? And the actual publication can be used as a jack rag. Yeah, when you're done with it.
You can recycle it.
You turn it over.
No, the last page is just a paper towel.
The last page. Well, yeah. It's got a knockout.
You put your dick in it and you just go like this. Swipe.
No, it's got a knockout and a perforated center. You put your dick through there. It's kind of lobster bibby. Then it's graduated like a bullseye, and it'll just go around. Mm-hmm.
All right, if I sign up, I'll use your reference code.
This is
you sign up and I get 3 weeks extra.
Okay.
Yeah, but you got to reference me. You got to use my code.
This is a leave well enough alone situation.
Mm-hmm.
This is a just because you can doesn't mean you should situation.
Right. So for those who don't know the story, Brazil's 2,000 member Marubo tribe got Starlink service 9 months ago, internet service, and this is a tribe that, as I said, reclusive. But now, after they got the internet, they are being torn apart by social media and a huge pornography addiction, according to the elders.
Well, first off, Elon's smart enough that he had to see this one coming, pardon the pun. Dawson or Byron, you can find I did a 1780s guy on internet porn, and it kind of explains it. I used to do these interstitials called 1780s guy, but yeah,
you're in some Amazon tribe that only has 2,000 people. It's slim pickings in there. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like if there is a hot chick there, she's taken immediately, right? Mm-hmm. So then you're on the internet now, and you don't even know that there are other types of women in the world, or men, or whatever you're into. You don't know that there's others, you know? And then, you know, you go to like, you know, and you don't know that you could type in anything. Like imagine if, you know, their first thing was like, you know, they probably just went boobs.
Right.
You know? And then, you know, wow, what? Then it was just, you know, maybe they said cocks and boobs. Then they saw that. And then somebody was like, well, what about cocks and boobs and yogurt? And then like, you know, it's like you could, whatever you put in on a porn site, it's going to come up. There. So what I'm saying is like, it's like, I mean.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like, I'm not,
well, look,
you know.
It's inevitable. Yeah. All roads lead to porn. All, you know, VR goggles were originally developed for astronauts or in simulators or whatever, but everything goes to porn eventually.
Okay, but Adam.
Yes.
You have the VR goggles. Is that enough for you? I think the real thing is you have the VR goggles, and then you have to have some device that's connected to your dick.
Yeah.
I mean, then you're talking, you don't leave the house.
Yeah. That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there's got to be a thing that, like, you know, and then it's like you put it in, and it's not immediately on it, you know?
Yeah.
Because, like, whenever, you know, there's got to be, like, a thing. It's like a car wash.
They have gaming.
You know what I mean? Your dick goes through, like, a car wash thing where then, like, the
all the different.
Yeah, the brushes come in, and then there's, like, a blowing cycle.
I like the hand wash ones, but look, they have gaming chairs, right?
Boom.
There's going to be a masturbation chair.
This is what I'm saying.
It's someone in Japan is going at it right now.
Any chair could be a masterbation chair.
Well, I could.
Yeah, as soon as I leave, I'm sure
I could turn an electric chair into a masturbation chair. Yeah. Any lawn chair. No, but I'm saying any chair could be a gaming chair too. But there are gaming chairs.
But what I'm saying,
I'm saying an actual chair for masturbation that had everything built into it.
What I'm saying is, like, technology is at a point now. Why are we half-assing the technology? What are we talking about right now? Like, it's like, you know, I think there's this sort of like thing in society, like, because if you ever see like the new robots they're making, like the sex dolls that they're making now, the way they're making them look like real people, like, you know, it's like, why are we half-assing? Like, let's. What are we doing?
Well, they're making them look like real people.
I know, but it's like, I feel like they could have done that, but they're like inching it out because they want to see how people feel about it. It's the same thing with the VR glasses with the like, yeah, this is for porn.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, you know, like, of course, okay.
This doesn't need to be gradual. We are perfectly capable.
We're perfectly capable of being like, all right, I would like to, like, you know, you put the porn, because they already have that POV
I had
porn.
that speech where I went, look, we're all mature adults here who want to fuck robots. You know what I mean? So let's not judge.
Yeah.
Do we have that? Let's see. Do we have
1780s?
Do we have that 1780s guy? It's got to be there somewhere. Well, if you do, you can put it on my screen.
This begs the question: was humanity, like, has this ruined humanity? Because we're seeing what it did to a perfectly pure tribe getting the internet.
This is out of context.
Women better be looking over their shoulders. That's all I'm saying. Because once that technology is perfected, there's going to be a lot more single dudes living with their robots. That's what I think.
I don't. Not until the AI is,
and that they're going to say, women are going to go, yeah, but what about the conversation? I'm going to go, exactly. Yeah. Strike two.
But imagine combining the AI, where like now you're programming this thing yourself. Like, make me feel special today. Like, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to take away from. I think it's just going to be like, this is just an enhanced sex toy.
They're already, listen, the numbers, the sperm count is down. Guys aren't getting laid as much. Guys aren't going out and hooking up as much. Guys are already staying home and pulling the taffy. Yeah. You know, it's already slowed everyone's roll. All right. But anyway, Elon should have saw this one coming, or maybe this was part of his plan.
Yeah, some kind of experiment to show.
Mm-hmm. We will.
Yeah. Well, initially they used it for good. They're like, oh, you can contact emergency service quickly. Here's how you heal a snake bite.
Right.
But anything that is used for good can be used for evil.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything's a gun.
Everything is like, yeah, dude. Everything is like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, how do you heal a wound? How do you pound a fucking butthole? What sort of, you know what I mean? It's all the same. Same information's there.
This is the internet. I think this is 17. Well, it's self-explanatory.
Okay.
Is what it is.
And now, Adam explains to 1780s guy. The internet.
So an endless array of nubile beauties appear in this magic box? And you have one of these in your home?
Yeah.
Make haste!
That was Adam explains the internet to 1780s guy.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, that's what it is.
That's how guys would react.
You know, you'd be like, hey, can I, like, even if you think about, like, oh, here's the one, man. You know, you know how you can, like, now they have these things where you can, like, just type in what you want to see and it shows it to you, right? So they've been putting a damper on, like, you can't do porn. Like, you can't. But now they're saying, well, maybe we should let that happen, too. There's a company, I saw an article about that, you know, like, because that's what you would do. Like, if you're like, you know, now you'd be able to be like, just think of the depravity in your head of what you would want to see, and they could just put that on the screen for you.
There's I saw a clip. Somebody tweeted me, or I don't know where I saw it. I don't know if they tweeted. I saw it on Twitter, but I don't know if they gave it to me. But it was a clip of Charles Bronson interviewing some young man about being like a sex addict, and from a movie. And I thought it was doctored or cooked or whatever. He pulled like a suction cup with a jug on the bottom of it and a stir stick and stuff, and said, "Is this what you've been using?" And it looked like somebody cut it, like doctored it, but they didn't. And it's the weirdest thing ever. And I don't know what Charles Bronson movie it's from. I don't know how to find it. Maybe you guys can look for it. It was
Can you remember Death Wish?
Yeah, I don't it couldn't have been from Death Wish. It's I don't know. Charles Bronson what would you call that? Interviews pervert. Let's say try that. Let them do that.
See, but hey, by the way, that's what you're going to be able to do. You're going to be able to say Charles Bronson interviews pervert, and the AI will just
yeah, they'll make it. All right, you get your next story.
All right, so while he's looking that up, so our 6th Street Bridge here in LA.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Yeah, I mean,
That's your favorite bridge?
This is another reason, like, another more proof why we can't have nice things, right?
Okay, we can't have nice things. The thing I love about that is the artist rendition before they build the bridge. They do the rendering.
You know the bridge we're talking about?
No, which bridge is that?
It's a new bridge opened in 2022. It's 6th Street, and it has like the big arches as it goes across. I mean, I don't know.
Is it downtown, right?
Yeah, downtown.
Oh, so I don't go downtown a lot, so it's not my thing.
I've never been on it. I just see what goes on.
Right. So I mean, it made the news because like right when they opened it, people were doing
street takeovers,
doing the burnouts.
You say people, let's Jews are taking
Thank you.
Asians
Thank
mainly
you for being clear.
are out there doing donuts in their Dodges.
TikTokers are climbing it, and I think some even fell and died like on social media. They're doing like this. They're basically just doing whatever they wanted on this bridge. It was chaos.
So what do we have? What's happening?
So now, the bridge. Or every once in a while, the bridge doesn't have lights. Like it's very dark when you're driving during night, and the reason that it's so dark is because copper thieves have been hitting the bridge again and again, stripping like 7 miles of wiring, leaving much of the structure in the dark.
Right.
So it's just a hot spot for copper.
It's what you said. We can't have nice things anymore. We have turned into such animals in Los Angeles, and the DA and the cops, all the defund the police thing.
We formed a task force.
We're just fucking nuts now. We're stealing fire hydrants. Like
really?
We've gone down to elements of life. Like they're stealing stuff off the periodic table of elements. Like we're stealing resources like raw I saw someone running with a chunk of coal the other day. Like,
just down the street.
Just running down the street with coal and ore.
This guy's like, is that magnesium?
Yeah. It means your society has degraded to the point where we're well beyond. But the thing you have to find on the 6th Street Bridge is the artist rendering of when they're selling it to the city. They're going, we'll run what's going on the 6th Street Bridge and whatever.
Copper thieves. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Who would even know to do that? That seems like a high-profile thief. That ain't no regular.
These copper thieves are good.
That ain't no
They're
regular
crafty.
shit.
They're
man.
stealing they're stealing.
These people at Nobu.
LA landmark still in the dark almost 6 months after thieves stole nearly 7 miles worth of copper wiring that illuminated the 6th Street Bridge.
In fact, they're waiting for us to repair them. They want us to repair them because every light post to them is an ATM machine. It's pure cash. So when we go and repair, what do? They go and they steal again.
Councilmember Kevin De Leon helped create a task force to crack down on the copper wire thefts plaguing the city. More than 6,000 incidents were reported citywide last year, repairs exceeding $17 million. The task force also working on ways to prevent a costly repeat of the crime along the famous bridge, since repairs there are expected to top $2 million.
We need to come up with creative ways to reinforce.
Creative ways. Fucking shoot the next guy who does it, and then they stop. You don't need creative ways.
And safeguard the wires so thieves can't just walk up.
The picturesque bridge has been besieged with problems since its unveiling.
So there's the street takeovers.
Including
Cars.
massive street takeovers and people climbing the arches for photo shoots.
Yeah. All right, now we need the artist's rendering of what it was supposed to look like, because that's the part that cracks me up the most. There is the artist's rendering, and that's guys selling hot dogs and balloons and people strolling underneath it in a beautiful park. Well, this is how they sell it to you. They go, here's what it's going to be, but here's how it turns out, and we cannot have nice things in LA. We're stealing catalytic converters. Yeah. We're stealing copper wire. We're stealing anything aluminum.
What are they doing with it?
They're using the raw materials. This is one of the off.
Find one with people.
You got to find one with the one that sounds like
that looks great.
As I was describing we've looked at it before. So it's people walking around and balloons and stuff like that. Yeah. We can't, but also, here's the thing. We have to enforce laws, everybody. We can't just let all the fucking gangbangers run wild.
Well, wait.
Still not
First
the
of all,
one, but not bad, but better.
Whoever's in charge of stealing 7 miles of copper wire off this, it ain't the Crips.
No. What I think what's
like this is a white collar crime right here.
No.
Okay?
This is probably Mexican cartel shit. I think this is cartel stuff.
Really, for what is the purpose? What do they do with it? I'm curious.
Well, I don't know what they do with catalytic converters, but they have some value, and they enlist young poor people to just go get it.
No. I get the actual hammer. Okay, I get but whoever's in charge of like getting this stuff, they're doing something with it. What are they doing?
Yeah, they're selling it.
I know, but selling it to whom? For what?
They're selling it to guys who probably deal with like the version of a pawn shop where they kind of know that guitar was stolen, but they give you $200 for it anyway because it's worth $700.
Yeah,
they're dealing with the look the other way people.
I guess that just to me is like that seems like such a specific thing to like somebody was like, hey, we should steal this copper. Somebody has to know the value of copper, and there has to be a copper market. What is the copper market?
The copper market's like $44 a pound or something like that.
Oh, wow.
It's a trade. It's a commodity.
So that probably ends up at IKEA.
Full circle. This is artist drawing. Maybe rendering isn't right. We saw a drawing.
If you go into Google, you go to images, right? I guess you guys know this, but just go into images.
Any Charles Bronson luck? Let's see. How do I describe that? Charles Bronson interrogates a pervert. But what would you call a machine that's
sex machine? Just say sex toy. Charles Bronson, pervert, sex toy. interview.
Okay. All right. See if that comes up. All right. And that artist renting. Well, anyway, the one we saw before, we showed it on the show before, was just people walking and strolling and vendors and it was peaceful. But I'm saying it's the opposite of Sodom and Gomorrah, which the bridge is.
But it's
now.
What are we going to do? You know,
well, what you're going to do is you got to put fucking cops there, and they have to fucking bust people who do shit. Like
he's like, oh, we put it back and they just steal it again.
Yeah, but what about like webcams and like, they have all these high-tech equipment where you can see people's faces.
We don't care who people are because we're not arresting anyone anymore. We've decided in L.A. and in California that we're not going to be tough on criminals. Criminals
but if you have like a Nest, you have a Nest cam, you get a notification. There's movement. Why don't they have that kind of shit connected right to the cops?
Yeah, but here's the part you're missing. You can get a Nest cam of somebody stealing your computer and call the cops.
Yeah.
You think they're going to do anything?
I know, but what I'm saying is, why don't the cops just have Nest cams?
They're not interested in the stuff. They're not. Them seeing it doesn't prevent it. They're not going to do anything about it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. See, I just got a Nest cam interview right
Check your copper.
All right.
So are you guys worried? Like you talked about the leaf blowers yesterday and how we're just breathing in all these particles that are staining our lungs. Well, what about microplastics? Are you guys worried about what's
good
happening?
And part of why testosterone or the sperm count is down.
That's exactly right.
Talking to a lot of people.
Microplastic pollution has been found in all human semen samples tested in a study.
Yeah.
And researchers say further research on the potential harm to reproduction is imperative.
No, I know, because I shorted out my robot the other day because it wasn't built for that much microplastic. You know what I mean?
So dumb.
But I was like,
there should be a scanner in the robot. And once you bust in it goes, you need to change your diet.
Yeah, your heart rate's up.
Yeah. They'd be like, well, okay, that's like a trick. But if that's how your wife gets you to work out and eat properly.
The dystopian future is like at some point you're eating a pulled pork sandwich and your sex robot turns the corner and goes, how about some jicama instead, fat guy? And you're like, what? You're just programmed for pleasure.
Oh, no.
Put the sandwich down.
You're like off.
This is the end of the Twilight Zone episode.
That's right.
Sex robots. Mm-hmm. They just,
Well, a microplastic, I started to get into finding out about this stuff because when you have a kid, it opens up your whole world of like what's safe and what's not. And it's almost like you're like, God, do we even need to know this? I was telling my wife gets water bottles all the time. And I'm like, babe, you got to stop. We got to stop this.
Oh, listen, women do not drink tap water and they don't, everything's in a, are you in a house?
No, we have a townhouse.
All right. Get a whole house
filter system, yeah.
Filter everything that comes in, and then just drink it right out of the sink.
Yeah.
And stop dealing with the bottles.
They have
and
a lot
not
of
only the
that
bottles,
stuff.
the landfill and all that stuff.
I mean, is it even avoidable?
What it is okay. First things first. I've said this a million times. Everything you buy, ketchup, mayonnaise, every accoutrement, get in a glass jar. It's always better. It's a higher quality. People get shit in like squeeze bottles and think it's good shit. You know what I mean? It's always cheap junk.
Mustard is, there's something about,
I make exception for the mustard. You're right.
Come on, man.
Yeah. But
nobody wants to spoon mustard. Mustard, you got to put a line. It's got to be like Coke, man.
There's great poupon. Yeah, you got to draw a line on one of those change tables at the McCarran Airport.
Circle.
I caught Eric doing some mustard rails at the bathroom at McCarran at the Southwest.
Yeah, man. There's certain things that you just want to like I used to love the peanut butter and jelly where there was peanut butter and jelly in the same jar, and you would just squeeze it onto the thing. That was good shit.
That stuff was called,
I don't know,
not Kugel, but there's a different name for it.
Yeah, so I get what you're saying, but it's like, what are we going to know? Remember way back in the day when gas was like, 15 cents a gallon or something like that, or like it was like a crazy cheap, and they didn't know. We just don't know. Like somebody tested the microplastics recently, but this is something they probably could have done a long time ago. And these companies were like, yeah, but glass is expensive.
Yeah. Well, glass is expensive. It breaks. And it's heavy.
Yeah, it's heavy
gotta
to ship.
Right.
So then somebody made a choice. And so now, like, we've ruined society. And then, what are they going to say? My bad.
Right. Well, it's like not only found in a bunch of semen, but also breast milk, placentas. Like, so it's really the future generations.
Dude, how about baby food? Just look up baby food right now. Like the baby formula.
Well,
the baby formula thing, dude, is like it's bananas right now. There's so much about baby formula that you have to go. You have to go to Germany to like all the foods and stuff that we have here. The fact that other countries have banned all the ingredients.
Yeah, not a good sign for us.
What the fuck are we talking about? It's so now I gotta order fucking. My wife's breastfeeding, which is great because now when we start to get off that, we gotta get our shit from some farm in Germany because they're not polluting it with chemicals.
I think I saw her at the McCarran airport when I was trying to rub one out. I told her, I wasn't rude, but I should wrap it up.
After you, I got next. You put a quarter down on the doorknob.
Yeah. Can you move your Coke? I'm trying to change my baby.
All right, do we find Charles? What? I want to know how the internet works. What are we putting in, Byron, for Charles Bronson? Let's see. What have you typed in? I want to know what could possibly come up. You got something?
I typed in interviews pervert, interrogates pervert, and the closest thing I've gotten is him vice gripping a pervert.
But you're doing Charles Bronson
Charles
first.
Bronson. And the first thing we got was the movie with Tom Hardy playing Charles Bronson, getting talked to by a pedophile. So close-ish.
What about Charles Bronson interrogates...
Maybe they took it down.
Sex toy. I don't know. Somebody tweeted me.
Where did you see it?
I think it was Bill Simmons put it out.
Just then look up Bill Simmons.
Yeah.
Look up Bill Simmons, Charles Bronson.
Look up Bill Simmons, Charles Bronson. And I think it was under his podcast, Rewatchables. I think that's...
Is it
that's
10 till midnight? Is that the movie?
Yeah, there he is. Now, how do you find it?
I didn't find the exact scene. I just...
yeah, you did. That's the guy.
Well, it's the guy, but it's... I don't... It's...
Yeah, he's interviewing.
It's just a guy videotaping his TV, so I don't know what the clip is.
You don't see him shaking around a sex toy?
I do, but I can't hear it, so I don't.
Oh, but you found the scene.
I'll send it to you.
Unless there are multiple scenes that way. But why do you find it? That's my question about the internet. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
This is the last time you
watch this, Eric.
That's not.
Wait,
all right, he pulls out.
This is a pilot.
He pulls out a dustbuster with a pocket pussy glued to the top of it.
Yeah, this is a pilot for a bad show that didn't get picked up. That's
10 to midnight was it?
10 till midnight.
The movie.
Oh,
now,
really
how
was a
do
movie?
you find it so fast?
I just Googled. I mean, I went into Twitter and searched Twitter. I find things faster on Twitter than Google.
Oh,
these
okay.
days.
How'd you find it, Byron?
Emmy helped. It's a teamwork.
What'd you Google in?
What a
Emmy
crack
Google
staff
in?
back there, huh?
See,
Emmy
I don't
says no
know
comment.
I don't know how the internet works because I want to know what Emmy Googled because I want to know how the internet works because I can't figure it out because this is an insane thing. This should be everywhere.
He said the Rewatchables Twitter.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
it's Emmy's homepage.
You know what? I like to use AI for searching now, like Gemini, the Google AI.
Is this a prop they made?
Yeah, dude.
You don't think it existed in 1978?
Dude, that was the worst acting I've ever seen. I can't believe that made
That's
it.
a feature.
That
was in theater.
I can't even believe it.
And
this is so terrible.
And you know what? Save this speech because your next feature, when they go, we're bringing it straight to paper. We're not now. It's not going to be in theaters. You're going to go, this isn't in theaters? Have you seen 10 to Midnight with Charles Bronson?
For real. I would say let me be mediocre on Netflix. You know what I mean?
I got to watch it we got to watch it one more time.
We should, you know what we should do? This is what we should do. This is what I'm calling for right now. I'm saying, Adam and I, we come in here and we do a watch party of this movie.
That's good. But I think they already did it. All right, we'll play it again.
This is how you know how this is old school. This is old school because they think that handsome young man can't get girls.
I know. They shouldn't have hired a guy with matinee
It should have been you or me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, thanks. I mean, what? Get Truman Capote's brother. All right. Now that we found that, I can rest.
Okay.
Eric Griffin is his name.
Yes, guys.
Comedy's his
I don't know
game.
when this comes out tomorrow. I'll be in Greensboro, North Carolina this weekend. So, guys, come check me out, the Greensboro Comedy Zone. And I got other stuff going on. But, you know, I've been doing a lot of acting and directing and stuff like that. So I'm not doing as much stand-up. But when you do want to see it, it's at ericgriffin.com.
That's what I was about to say. For me, Vega figure who was the actual PI who actually lost his arms, who then made a doll. I think he had a grappling hook attachment.
Yeah.
You had to grapple with your hooks back then.
Take that
Now
around.
we grapple with our sexuality. No more hooks. It was
And our glue guns.
It was a simpler time when a man grappled with a hook and not his sexuality.
I don't know
But
why I
here we
didn't do
are.
the entire podcast like this. I like this look. It's on
Holding the mic.
balancing. Oh my
It gives you
God.
like gravitas.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I have an announcement.
All right, let's do a little more news.
So Orny's very own Boston.
Yeah.
They announced that in the majority of Boston, they're going to be banning leaf blowers, gas-powered leaf blowers.
They did that here. Did nothing.
That's right.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
You can't. You call if someone breaks into your house. You call 911. They don't show up. You think they're going to show up for a leaf blower?
Well,
This
a new
go ahead.
report, they estimate that in 2020, the devices generated over 600,000 tons of carbon, which is equivalent to about 135,000 standard cars.
Yes.
In 2020. So, yeah, and remember, California, we're enacting a statewide ban next year on the sale of new gas-powered tools. Wow.
Okay, so this ban has been in Los Angeles since 1999.
Yeah.
And they always miss the story of the leaf blower. There's three components, and they only focus on one and they leave out two. One, and so they go, oh, we'll go with an electronic leaf blower or whatever. Okay, what comes out of the tailpipe is that shit runs on two-stroke. Two-stroke is mix the oil with the gasoline, and that's where the black smoke and the noise comes out. And there's no catalytic converter or anything like that. So it creates a lot of pollution. But the main problem is it's louder than shit. I can't tell you how many fucking Sundays and Saturdays have been ruined by hearing, it's louder than shit. And it kicks up a huge plume of dust. So it's essentially, you're going, well, I'm worried about what's coming out of the exhaust. But what's coming out of the exhaust is going into the air and dissipating very quickly. You firing the huge cloud of dust, which is comprised of rat shit and Roundup and just spores and pollen and stuff.
E. coli.
That I have to walk my dog through.
Right.
That's the particulate part. That's the part that goes, they always go, oh, those little parts they get in your lungs, they never come out. Like that's the part. It's the people that work at the fucking mill, at the factory and stuff where they're taking, MDF and medium density fiberboard or whatever, and they're milling it all day and they're living that class. The guy's got black lung. Now, because you're taking in the particulates, they don't bring up that part. They're like so focused on what's coming out of the exhaust pipe, but that's not the problem. It's the noise and the cloud.
What's the solution? Rakes?
The solution. Okay.
Okay, you're exasperated.
Okay. Well, I'm exacerbated by this because it speaks of the time we're at right now.
Yeah.
It speaks of the time. I was in Maui. I was at brunch. I was sitting outdoors with 8 or 10 people that I went on this trip with. And somehow we heard the leaf blower blowing in the background. Right. And I said they should make those things illegal. And then somebody said they should be illegal, whatever. And everyone started talking about how much they hated the leaf blower.
Right.
Then I said they are illegal in Los Angeles and have been illegal in Los Angeles since 1999. And they said, why don't they enforce the law? And I said, because Los Angeles is very democratic and it's very progressive, and all the people that are using the leaf blowers are poor brown people, and they don't like the optics of coming down on poor Mexicans. That's the people they say they care about the most. And then everyone looked at me at the table and told me I was somewhere between racist and wrong. Okay. And then I said, I read an article. This is what I know. And they're like, oh, why are you being... I go, look, They don't like the optics of punishing poor Mexican people, so they choose not to enforce this law. They enforce the laws if you don't have a front license plate. They enforce every building code law, but they will let the Mexicans sell the flowers outside of the mortuary or do the pop-up taco tent in front of SoCal Stadium or whatever. SoFi, they don't like the optics of it because they're progressive, and everyone looked at me like I was an asshole. Now, all I'm saying is I was right. Everyone at the table was wrong.
What year was this?
This is 6 years ago. I didn't come up with this. It was in the Times. It was an article. This is why we don't enforce the law. We enforce every other law, but we sort of pick and choose depending on who gets busted. They don't enforce any of the Mexicans going down to the Staples Center and selling fucking ghetto dogs out of a shopping cart. They don't do it because they don't like the optics of it. The city council did. Then everyone at the table decided I was wrong, and then I told everyone to fuck off, and there was a horrible brunch, and now we smash cut to COVID, which is, I know you guys all have your fucking feelings. Don't punish me for being correct. I'm sorry. I know I have information. I'm sharing it with you 9 fucking dullard retards. Sorry, you don't know what's going on. I'm not your problem. Go fucking work it out. This is the time we're living in. You're talking to a bunch of idiots at a brunch table. They've all ganged up and think you're wrong, even though they don't know anything about the subject. I was the only person who knows this subject at that table. But they all decided I was racist and wrong, and they were empowered with each other. They didn't want to step out because they didn't want to be hit by the mallet of the others. And so I just sat there at the table being right in front of fucking 9 people who were wrong. That's life.
Where did this burst of energy come from?
I was thinking about it earlier today. Like, what? This is why we're in the trouble we're in now. This is what just happened with COVID. I said, don't close the schools. Don't fucking do any of this stuff. And everyone looked at me at the fucking table of life and went, this guy must be removed from the table.
And how did that feel, being the asshole at the table?
I was like, listen, given the choice of being copacetic and being wrong versus being correct and being shunned, I'll take being correct every fucking time.
And where do you, at the Jimmy Kimmel birthday dinner, where do you stand in the asshole spectrum? Do you feel like a lot of people there think you're an asshole, or are you more accepted?
They think I'm on the spectrum with like Asperger's syndrome.
That's what I think.
Yeah, they think it's that.
Yeah, okay, so we give you a pass.
Yeah.
Oh, it's poor Adam.
He's got a syndrome.
Yeah.
Nobody has ever said poor Adam, but they do think I have a syndrome.
Where do you on the, sorry, I know I just have so many questions, and you do this 5 days a week.
Yes.
They get enough of you, these listeners.
True. Yeah.
And
they can eat their orny.
And it drives people nuts when I interrupt you on this podcast. Where do you stand? Are you at the party? Are you Jimmy Kimmel's wife? Are you the number one friend?
You sit who you sit next to sometimes. There's a lot of interesting characters there. You know, people who can talk, people who have opinions.
Yeah.
Lots of laughs. So there's not a real...
Do you sit next to Jimmy, or how far away from Jimmy do you get?
I usually sit next to or across. Usually.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. But depends, you know.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
Who goes up to who first? Jimmy comes over to you, or you go over to Jimmy?
You show up at the restaurant and you sit down.
But you know Jimmy's surrounded. He's a big deal.
Yeah, but these are old friends. They don't care.
I got to RSVP. I feel bad.
You got to put that in, yeah.
Yeah, I got to let them know I'm going. Or not
Yeah.
going. I haven't decided yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me know first. I'll put in the word.
Okay.
All right. So illegal leaf blowers, but everyone misses the point. Leaf blowers. But really, Los Angeles, so the plan is this. We will enforce certain laws and not enforce other laws depending on what color the person is who's being affected by the law.
And you're saying that if the majority of the uninformed will prevail over the informed.
That's all. That's the time we're living in. A bunch of fucking dingbats calling the shots.
Has a single ticket ever been written for a leaf blower?
No.
No.
They won't enforce it.